Like, share, subscribe, comment, man. Like it, comment, leave a. If you don't like it, leave it. If you like it, leave it. Just like, share, and subscribe. I'm gonna start this off by saying I'm not condoning uh, with any shape, form of violence, deletion, any shape, form of violence. I'm not with that. I don't condone that. Um, in a matter of self-defense, if I had to, that's the only way I can understand and relate. For any other reason, you know, you're playing God and you're not God. I started off like that because I want to say that, you want to get married to someone, you have to apply for a license in the state. Um, I don't know. All the stuff that we believe in, that we push for, it's supposed to be biblical. I know that Moses uh, did this, created this format for marriage, but today you apply for this today, you get approved, and then you go to a priest or preacher, and he performs the ceremony. I don't know if anyone has not been approved. I don't know what the rules are for it. And it's the same with divorce. With divorce, you have to go back in front of a judge, and the judge will have to grant you the divorce, and he would have to stamp that on you. So when I think about it on those lines, if one of the two parties does something extreme, uh, uh, irrevocable, fidelity, theft, whatever it is, and you decide that day that you're going to leave, the state has a set of rules set up that you can't. In this particular situation, these people had to stay together while going through this, and at some point, the judge granted the woman the house. I'm sure, and I haven't gotten that far yet. I'm sure that she was putting together a defense for the divorce, and it included violence because uh, the statements that I'm reading are saying that, you know, after his political career, he began to drink and become unhinged. And that's the price of fame. This guy was a hot commodity in politics from the age of 20, 21, college degrees, and jumped right into the political market and did well. By all means, he did well. Um, he reached the height of lieutenant governor. That he almost could have became governor. The governor at that time. Uh, some pictures came about with him in blackface. He was in blackface. His buddy was in the Ku Klux Klan. They were hugging. I'm sure they thought that was funny, but to people whose family have been lynched or something, it's not funny at all. Um, so they wanted him to resign, and that way Justin would have been the governor. He refused to resign. Shortly after that, two females came up talking about they had charges against him for sexual assault that took place in his college days. That was years behind. I don't think any charges. I don't think he was found guilty of anything. Um, but I believe that ruined. That started the erosion of his political career. So again, you want to get married, you have to go for the state. You have to stand before, apply for a certificate, a license, for people who have no idea what it was. When I went to the city hall, there was an old Caucasian lady, and she asked a few questions, but they weren't pertaining to the license. They were pertaining to me, and where I was from, whatever the case. So they dictate this procedure. So in this case, the procedure was taking place, and while the procedure was taking place, they had to live under the same roof. Now, when you get married, you should think about second house, divorce attorneys, things like that, because approximately 40 to 50% of first marriages in the United States are estimated to end in divorce. Now, I remember hearing 85%, but that's half. Half of the marriages that take place are going to end in divorce. And that's not putting the blame on either side. So they had to stay in the same house while they was dealing with this. And I'm gonna look it up, but I don't know when it comes to who gets what. I tend to think that children usually go with the mother, and this guy, his political career was over. They were under the same roof, and the divorce proceedings were going on, but there were certain stipulations that couldn't take place because you had to be they had to sleep in separate rooms, and a lot of stuff had a lot of these rules had to take place while to verify this process. So this guy said that to himself, obviously, that it's not worth being here. And he decided on that day that he was going to delete her and delete himself. They said that after his political career, mentally he went downhill. He began to drink more. He became more unhinged. And that's the price of fame. He was a hot guy with politics, the next big thing, so to speak, mentioned all through Washington. And it was over. Now your marriage is over. Now, whoever fault it was, it could have been his fault. I haven't heard anything about infidelity. I did read something where she installed cameras in the house because she wanted things documented. He was boisterous at times and even physical. I haven't seen any interviews from the children, but a couple friends. Some friends spoke on his character. Some friends spoke on hers. I believe she was even a doctor. So from the outside looking in, everything appeared to be great. But the law, a lot of laws should be changed, adjusted for this. And I'm not totally saying the law book calls this, because evidently this man had an issue. Shots of Hennessy, shots of whatever is not going to provoke this type of behavior. I think something up here and in here was wrong. I don't think he can handle it. I want to say, man, God bless them children. My prayers and condolences go out to that family, to that state. I pray for those children that they have to, the son has to live with the fact of what he saw and what he had to do. I can't even fathom that. I have issues with seeing an animal laying dead in the street. I just saw deers dead in the street, and I feel like that. So imagine how it feels to find your loved one in that state. Reportedly, there were around eight shots. Even the 911 call says I saw holes or something like that. So again, not condoning any deletion of anybody, not promoting anything closely remote to hurt, harm, danger, or deletion at all. I'm just saying that sometimes, man, we need to let go, and we shouldn't have to depend on the law to do that, but we need to let go, man. So if you're in a marriage and it ain't working out, and you have the means, you gotta get away, man. Don't ever let yourself get to the point where you're even looking at that as an option. Divorce is not the end of the world. It's just not. I want to say like, share, subscribe, man. Like, share, subscribe.